I only put the tip in, and that has been the reality for about 5 out of the last 9 months. And it's got nothing to do with your thinking, mate. This is The Road to 40. It's a new YouTube series that I'm going to talk about my journey from basically restarting again and the journey to becoming 40 years old and the reality of building a new business from scratch, starting training in a completely different manner, taking alcohol out of my life, and essentially completely rebuilding my relationship as a dad, because that totally shifted as well. And the idea of this whole concept came about because about 3 years ago, I was in Barcelona. I was sitting in a cafe. We had just ran the Valencia Marathon. I was obviously a bit tired, but I was sitting in a cafe in Barcelona. I was just sitting, I was journaling. And I knew at that point, I was like, something isn't right. I know I'm not happy, but I wasn't 100% sure why that was right. I was doing very well business-wise, like making money that I never thought I could ever make. I was in great shape. I just ran a marathon, ran a very good time. My relationship with Shannon, we didn't know at the time she was actually pregnant, but we decided we were going to start trying. It just went a bit quicker than we anticipated, but I knew something wasn't right. And what was happening, right, seeing the process of knowing something wasn't right, I was just trying to change everything round about me. So what I would do, right, is at that point, at one point then, I think I went, right, that's it, I'm giving up alcohol, because I knew something wasn't right, and I was like, it's alcohol, I'll give up that. But then I lasted not that long, and I drank, and I know that when I commit to something, I'll see it through, but with that, I didn't do it. I hired about 6 different business coaches, and again, I'm like, something's not right here, because I was going from thing to thing, and I'm like, this isn't working, there's something not right here. I don't think it was 6, I think it was 2 to be honest, but that was enough. It was a bit of an exaggeration to make the story look good. Then, what else would I be doing? And then I'd be like, right, I need another fitness goal. So like, I signed up to a High Rocks, and I'm like, I don't even want to do a High Rocks. But again, it was just more, I was like, these are the reasons why I'm not happy. There is something not right, and this has to be why. But again, quite quickly, I was like, nothing's changing here. I am still in the same thought processes. I know something needs to change. I'm trying to change all the external things, but it is not in any way changing how I feel. I've still got the same, I'm still really stressed, still overthinking. I just feel flat. I feel like something isn't right, but I don't know what it is. Like, people bang on about, like, for example, like mental health, right? I was in no way depressed. I was in no way anxious, but I knew something wasn't right. I was probably, would I describe it as maybe on edge? Just always felt like I should be doing better. And I thought it was all these external things, right? And then I went down the route, right? I knew at that point I needed help. So I hired a mental performance coach, and that started to unlock all the things that were holding me back, all the patterns that were basically holding me back subconsciously, because there was so many things that were playing in my mind that were literally making it impossible for me to take action. So I had all these ideas, right? And I actually, see now that I look back, I knew everything that I wanted to do, but I couldn't get myself to do it. Because what would happen, right, is I would start to make a small change. So for example, alcohol, that was one of them. Making the commitment to just going, right, I'm done with this. I would make a change and I would just rebound back. Fitness, I would set a goal, make good progress, rebound back. Then same with business, I would make good progress business-wise, rebound back. And it was always, everything was just like back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. And about 5 years previously, I'd actually see the course that I ended up, because I realised during this process, I was like, I need to make a change, because I realised like, I'm hugely passionate about helping guys break out the patterns that I was in. And I'd actually done the course to do it 5 years previously. But COVID hit, was it 5 years, 3 years, whatever it is, COVID hit, and I never got to use it. And at that point, I was like, I would want to redo it. So I paid to redo it again, because I was like, this is what I want to do. Back then, when I'd done the course, it helped me break through the stuff that was holding me back then. But this is what happens, see as you go through the different levels of life, new stuff will come up and new patterns will come up that are holding you back and stopping you from making progress. So I went in and almost put myself through the process again. And that started to open so many doors in my mind about where I want to go. And then from there, right, it was basically an 18-month process of getting into the position to be able to relaunch things again. But in that 18-month time, right, I'd made so many big shifts, but what was happening, right, was, see, subconsciously, I was still trying to almost keep myself here because it felt safe, it felt comfortable. This is what I'd always known. And what I mean by that, right, for example, I kept resetting fitness goals. I kept thinking, maybe should I just get another business mentor? I actually signed up with a business mentor, paid the deposit, and then pulled the plug on it right at the last minute, because I was like, no, you're starting to do the same thing. In terms of training, I kept going back to, right, I need to get back in shape, and then eventually I went, just stop. Do not make any decisions for the next 6 months. And I just came off social media. I just went, right, I'm going to come off social media and I am just going to think. I am going to take the time to allow the answers to come. And then everything started to come. My course finished, I was ready to go. And this was the point where, probably about 8 months ago, I started to make all the big shifts and the big decisions. But what happened, right, as I was making these, is I still kept the safety net here. And the safety net was, right, see at the start of the year, right, so like I was still posting fitnessy content, but with a mindset twist. So I wasn't going all in this because it was safer. I was said, right, next year I'm only going to drink 4 times, but I knew deep down that I just wanted to stop drinking. I knew deep down I just wanted to make the commitment to stop, but it was the safety net, because I had my wedding, which, to be honest, I don't regret drinking my honeymoon on my wedding. That's something that I would never ever not want to do, but I knew deep down that I really wanted to stop, and it was just a case of, right, make the decision. Think about that, there's 2 big things, mate. Training, I was continually, like, I went back to what was comfortable in terms of, I went back to almost powerlifting with one easy run, and it was one of them, I'm like, I'm just ticking the boxes, but I'm not enjoying it. I knew deep down I wanted to go down the kind of triathlon endurance route. I always seen that as like more enjoyable, but I was like, oh, but what if time, so there was all these things, right? And it was basically like, I had here that I wanted to get to, but everything here was comfortable. Everything here felt nice. And the thing was, right, I'd started the process, see, because I'd made so much of the work with making all the big mental shifts. In that 18-month period where I started making all the changes, doing the course and stuff, that was, the big shifts then were mad. Like, that was the point of, like, I'm changing. But there was always this thing where it was trying to pull me back, where it's like, this is safer, this is more comfortable. And this is where a lot of guys get stuck, and this is what happens. You hit a point in life, right, where you just know something isn't right. And you'll be trying to change all the external, you'll be trying to change, I don't know why I've got left and right, and I'm like, these things here and these things here, because there's nothing here. But you're trying to change all these things, right? And you're trying so hard, but nothing external is making you happy. And how this works, right, and this is why I've created this process, because I know now, I've went through this so many times myself, I've basically fine-tuned it, I've worked with people behind the scenes, worked with actually quite a few of my fitness clients have ended up going through the process. See, for us to make big changes, right, we've got all our patterns or subconscious things that are just running, right, they're in the background. These can be based on so many factors in life. I've done another video on this, I'm not going to go through it again. But these are based on so many things, factors and events that have happened, and just the way we build our own beliefs about ourselves, right? And these are all running in the background, right? But see, because we are constantly trying to change these, right, what we don't realise is that this is running the show. Because what guys do, right, guys logically try and change everything, because guys are very logical. I'm not going to go into this, I spoke about in another video, right? But as I said, right, see your subconscious patterns, right? They are the thing that drive your behaviour. So you're trying to logically solve something that's emotional, and you can't solve it with logic. This is why so many guys, they'll move forward, then just rebound back, move forward, rebound back, because they're just going through, they're trying to logically sort something, and it's not going to, so they just try and override it with just brute force. But then eventually what happens is you just go back. And this is why so many guys get that flat feeling. So for me, right, phase 1 for us is about almost like building the foundations, right? See, if you imagine it, see if I was to go into my garden, I wouldn't just start building a hut without putting any foundation down. I don't even know if you need foundation for huts, so we'll go with a house. I wouldn't start building a house with no foundation, because the house would collapse. But what guys are trying to do is they're trying to stack habits and discipline on a shaky foundation, and then wondering why they always collapse. And because they've watched so much motivational content, what happens is they just think, I just need to do more and push harder, but you don't. So if you imagine, right, what essentially is happening, see, every time you're like, for me, it was like the business coach, the I'm going sober, what else was it, what have I got here? I need to lose weight and do a marathon, right? Every time I reset these goals, and the irony, right, I've got a few of these goals now, but they're for a totally different place, because they're for a place of enjoyment. Whereas before it was just a place I ran away from myself, because I was like, I'm fucked and I just need to set these goals to stay in control. So like, what's happening, right? You're basically, if you imagine the house, right, you're basically going in and trying to decorate the house that's sinking. So the house actually starting to fall into the ground and you're just trying to decorate it, and you're trying to decorate it with the shit that you've got lying about. Instead of, what we do is, right, clear what's holding you back, break through the patterns, right? And then in phase 2, it's right, cool, now we need to start to look, see, now that you've got a clear mind, now we need to realign your whole life around, like, what do you actually want now? See, now that you've cleared the clutter, what is it that you want? Then we build the plan of, right, here's what you want, and then it's like, cool, what's the beliefs? What is it that's stopping you actually getting there? Then we start to build in, right, cool, what are the habits that we need to be disciplined with? Because see, just doing hard things for the sake of discipline, it is the most exhausting thing in the world. I would much rather do 5 things that I know get me to where I want to go than 10 things that are just to make me feel like I'm doing hard stuff. Doing hard shit, as they say, is the most pointless thing in the world if it's for no reason. I will argue all day about this. If it doesn't have a purpose, why are you doing it? It is because it's because you're trying to punish yourself because this is running the show. That is exactly what's happening. So you're trying to punish the fact that this is just running in the background, and it's probably running just telling you you're not doing enough, you're shite, if you're not doing stuff, if you should be doing more. But the reality is, mate, there's only so long you can do that, and then you just start to break down. And this is why we rebuild from there and we go across, because see, when we do it like that, mate, this is how change actually sticks. And mate, the thing is, right, there's always going to be a pull to comfort, right? There's always going to be a pull. And what I've seen more and more, right, and this is something that's frustrating me these days, I'm seeing a lot of like fitness coaches start to talk about mental performance, helping people shift their subconscious patterns, right? And they don't know what they're doing. We've actually got like specific techniques that we use with people which help them break the patterns. And a lot of other coaches are just talking to people and thinking that they're a mental performance coach when they aren't. And it's mental, it's absolutely mental, it's quite dangerous. But the thing that we need to have, right, is we need to break these patterns, and then it allows us to move. I think I've went off on a tangent here, because I've went off on 2 different things. But this is it's a big thing, mate. We need to actually go in and analyse what is happening for you here. Like, what is it that needs to shift? Because see, when we get that, mate, everything becomes easier. Everything becomes easier. And we have literally fine-tuned this process. I've been working with people behind the scenes, like even as I was going through that 18 months, it was just a case of like, mate, can I practice this? And I've got so many people, I was like, can I practice? And just kept doing it because it was like, this has to, like, I know how powerful this is. And it's been incredible watching the shifts that people have had and watching how much clarity of thought people get. Because mate, I lived in my own head for so long. And the hard part about it is like, see if you're a guy who, see if you've done well, you're switched on, right? You'll be doing better than everybody, but you won't realise that this is the thing that's blocking you, because you will look at other people and they'll probably be like chronically depressed, anxious, fucking all over the place. You're not, but you've still got patterns that are holding you back, and it's all these subconscious patterns. And the thing is, right, we've got people now who are telling you they can help you that they can't. And I would argue this is why I made the shift into the more mindset stuff. Like, I don't understand why fitness coaches are selling this as such, because it's like, what is it? Are you a fitness coach, or are you helping people with mindset? Because it becomes a weird grey area. Whereas like for me, I'm like, I just want to get people into the best mental headspace possible. Number one, right, because I want them to be able to show up at the best for their family. Number two, because I think that having mental freedom is the best thing in the world. What is the point in anything if you do not have the freedom to enjoy it mentally? And that's a huge thing. For me, like, I think back to like the early days, even like when I was going through a process with Arlo, and I was still trying to break a lot of the patterns that I had, and like I could not relax, I could not sit still, I couldn't enjoy my time properly. Like even with Shannon, like it caused problems with us because I just couldn't, I was never present, always thinking about work, always putting work first. I would say family was the priority, but my habits showed you otherwise. In terms of booze, like I was never happy with how I was showing up around alcohol either. Like all these different things, like training, I was just clinging on to the same stuff that was making me knackered, which I didn't want to do. And this is what happens. This is how you know you're in these patterns, mate, because you're clinging. You're almost clinging, and you don't know what you're clinging to, but you're clinging to something. And mate, if you need any guidance with this, fire me a message. Like I've been helping quite a few people like identify what the patterns are that are holding them back, because that's the biggest thing. And for a lot of guys, See, because you're really logical, you're trying to logically figure it out, and quite often you need somebody to come in and be able to take you to the deeper root of it, because that is how you actually make the change and make the shifts.